Doing well. So today I'm trying the microphone again. So you tell me how the sound is. I'm trying the microphone again. Ayongerako maaso nfulume bufulume. So malaga imuli mutya. Alan, Joshua. Muli mutya baba. Kansubire muri stede rero. So today I got a surprise visitor. Musomesa Samuel Sisi came to visit me. Into the microphone, really very delicate. So you guys will give me a review of how the microphone is performing. I'm trying to see how it sounds. Even when I have AC on, simani how long the battery lasts. But I imagine it will give us better sound, right? To give us better sound. So so today we're going to be talking. Today I've got some very disturbing news, and for some time, and I was waiting for just one terrible feedback from one of my customers, and I decide, but I'm going to think a lot on it, and then I'll make a decision probably during the week. Yeah. So but today is Sunday. Tomorrow will be Monday. So in chat today, morning broadcast is a fair. I hope you guys are doing well today. Antonio, Sanji Phone Solutions, Patrick Wafula, Mr. Lucius, Cosmas Agaba, Nick Wabuyi. Thank you for reminding us. Guys, like and share. Mr. Joshua Banange Tebankuba, 25th December, Martha Director, Martha Academy. Osip Ankunda, Kasokenso Mama Nyagano Banange. Osip Ankunda, Walter Mangulano, Dusabe Darius, Stephen Baronji, Steve Barros, Muganzi Marvin, Jude Kasibante, Musime Kim Job, Brian Buire, Ruzige Steven, you have the RAV for 2006. Ate kumenyetya bannange. Ekumenyetya. Fuel maintenance lwaki RAV kumenya 25th December. Lwaki kumenya nga yali badde tekumenya bannange. Olaga imuli mutya leero. Consider you guys are doing well. Ndi muka esimpomerwa. Musomesa Samuel Sisi came to visit me. For the surprise visit. Yankubidde ku machanga manyasa aganzija kulabako. Badde ndi awo nga mulowooza tatuuse. Amina Dawood, how are you today? Mr. Brian Mwanyama, how are you today? Kansubire muli okay. William Magezi, how are you today? Mpanvu nyo. Mpanvu etya, is it? Because that offer is not Mpanvu how? The height, the length, Mpanvu how? 25th. How Mpanvu etya? I cancel. Abubeka, how are you? So tonight I'm going to sleep on this thing, and tomorrow I'll have a decision. Ngezako kurongosa enkola ya pre-purchase inspection yaffe, so that it remains the very loved pre-purchase inspection it has always been. Yeah. Yes, Rogers, same picture. Alan Timo, Pascal Joseph. I hope you guys are doing well today. You guys are 45. We have only 10 likes. So let's like the broadcast. Let's like the broadcast. How is the sound, by the way? I'm using an external microphone. Jemwago Baruli, remember the microphone you told me to not use it again. So it's the one I'm using today. Is the sound better? It's my first kana ye entawanye eri waggulu kansoke nfune no gimanyire. Just imagine there is no option of you getting another one and then get used to it. Just try, give it like 2 more months, and in 2 months if you don't like it again, then you can sell it. I don't think you should, because what we zina nga to return their value. Atenga, if you're thinking, are you sure the sound is not good? Okay, I was trying it because someone complained that the sound of the phone wasn't good. Now I just have to find a way to work with this SC. Microphone ya sim. So now I'm back to our original sound. Is it better? Microphone waba China buno. I think these external microphones, they work better if you're going to edit the sound a little. They don't work with the live. So I've taken it off. Is the sound better? Great. So now I've tried it again. Microphone Nkaina one. You can come and I give it to you. Nakagula nenkatereka wano. It still has the box. Buli kimu ekiri mu box nga bwe nabigula. I just kept it in the glove compartment. Yeah, so I'm replacing it. Today I've worked for only 30 minutes. We were having a conversation with Mr. Samuel Sissie. So today I've driven a Wish Valvematic. I'm even inspired to do a video on that car now. I should have a video out this week. So for all the people that have been thinking of buying a Wish Valvematic, go for it. Totia kujivuga. Go for it. It's actually, I think it's much better than the other Wish. It has a lot of features that make it better. So yesterday we bought a Wish at 21 million shillings. 21 million shillings. We paid 14 million shillings cash. So the balance is how much there? What about million emu? Nezine tano nezili ebiri. Baba tubanja sente mmeka. Baba tukiza 21 plus so 14. 21 minus 14, what's that? 6 plus 1, that's 7 million balance, right? Yeah. So it so happened this was someone that was with us when I was helping his friend get a car, and he had gone to this place where Morokeno. He and his girlfriend had already gone there, like I think 2 times, trying to bargain for a car. And so when they came, because when they called me and they told me they wanted the Wish, and the budget was clear. The budget initially was 16 million, but the cash payment was 13. I told them that with the 16 million, if you get a Wish, it will be in the US series. Okay, it will be a US series, USZ, UAY, like that, which he had no problem with. And after he told me he had 16, he wanted the car of 16 million. When I told him that, then he said, but I want to pay cash 13. Okay. And then that's where the problem is. Majority of the time, the guys that have those wishes in the old number plates, ebiseera ebisinga baba bakatandika bwe baba basuubuzi babeera ba beginner. Okay, baba beginner nga ne sente ntondo, they don't have a lot of money. So that's where the problem comes. That normally the guys that ababeera neze moroka, because it's very rare to find someone that is selling their own car and they are willing to give you credit. It's very rare. So if you're buying a car on credit, majority of the time you'll either buy from a bond, whether used or Japan used, or you'll buy from a dealer or between abasuubuzi. So that was the only option. When someone is buying a car on credit, the options are very limited. The options are very limited. Why? You want to buy a car from someone that you can trust, someone that you know has credibility, someone that will not come for your car. That's also another thing. Because omuntu ajja kuwola emmoroka George Maria maraji none ng'ogimazeeyo n'okugino nga tonnagimalayo. You get it? Because remember, when you pay people, the majority of the money is what you pay. 70% normally, that's what they want. So normally that's why when you want to get a car from someone on credit, you want to get from a place that has a little credibility, or from someone that you can know. So when this person called me, I tried to make phone calls personally. If you guys have moved with me, I know names, so sometimes you'll find that it depends on which mechanic I go with, because sometimes I change mechanics. Why? Because njagala nnyo okubeera nga sitwala muntu nnyo mu field atuuka n'amanyiira n'atandika okulaba loopholes wanaatubbira, kuba ebiseera emu ayinza okunziba nze ne customer wange. So sometimes I change mechanics and different mechanics, not different dealers, they not different car sellers. Mojirabye obeyo Tundra, yeah, that's a Tundra. So it so happens that this time it was really hard to get someone that we had plenty of people that had cars at 17, 18, and I'm sure if someone says I'm selling at 18, then there's a possibility that they can sell you that car at 16. But it so happened that you know what, my person has 13 million cash. You'll have to demand the balance. Kati omuntu alina USZ ng'ayagala atagiguze miliyoni 18 okitegeera gye yali badde atuna 15 cash. So the one place that I thought is we went to a bond in Nakawa. I'm not going to endorse that bond, because if I endorse it here, muyinza ate ne bababbirayo. So we went to that bond in Nakawa, and before we looked at the cars they had told us, which in a way would have been bad buys. There was a UBJ, there was a UBK, there was a UAY. This place had those wishes. But the UBJ would have been a bad buy even if they had sold it to you at 26. Okay? It would have been a bad buy. Why am I saying that? But how lucky we are, but to parking, as we were parking in that place, ne wajjawo omusajja twasanza ze kukola butter with yalese your wish ebya red biriwa mwelondeko omu yabanguza mweyagalize genda yakusooseewo mpa n'ekyo kimu oyo akuwa essente. Arthur ekibalo kitawanya 20 now nze math sali mulungi mu math 21 minus 14 eziba sebaba tubanja ogenda wa omunfuufu ngenda wange munaye mu kyalo nze kibuga kya Nema kamba nyumize because network emanyi okuntawanya eyo maaso, so I'm going to park somewhere tusoke tunyumye. So we had places we could have gone to look at other cars. okay, to look at other wishes. But the moment we were parking, we were parking in this bond, we had come to look at UBKs. Kubanga UBK bade bajiga million abiri oba mwenda nga balina UBJ bajiga oba abiri mu monana. But then we were parking nga waliwo Morocco the UBD that we bought. This person had come to get a room and he was doing butter. So the moment we parked like this, they bagikola butter ne tubabuza tukebere, and they said check. This car had all 4 new tires. It didn't look, it had knocked yatomera muko wali the passenger side, so nga bumper menye bagikolamu. But that wasn't a problem because when we put the AC, it was ice cold, so the accident wasn't that bad if the AC system is still intact. The engine was okay, the gearbox was okay. Basically, they buy and drive. Now, you need to understand that when you're buying a car and it's credit, then ebintu bichukamu. Emoroka ya credit bagiseera muko. But even then, newe bate bagisedde muko, I find that this particular wish, the buy was fair. Temwabadde mu shock ya kukyusa because the mechanic I had yatunudde wansi nange n'entuna shock zonna nga mpya. Bush mwabaddemu obukubagana naye nga butonotono oba bwakunyiga mu 15,000 awo mutwalo oyinza okumalirawo emitwalo nga 8 awo okitegere ndabiramu yabadde erimu olwatika lwabadde lunene. That's 200,000 extra. Ne brakes zaade tezisiba bulungi, so brakes z'emabega zabadde ziweddeko nga handbrake foot brake bw'ogirinya ogiwulira. But there are people that would drive those brakes like that. I know men that would drive the brakes like that, but nze nga Arthur, the moment when nalinya mu brakes bwenti ne ngamba no, you actually have to fix these brakes. So that's why the only repairs that were on that car. The other thing that it happens that Morocco, those guys are bond wade tebanajiyingiza mu system okitegeera, and this guy, the person that sold us the car, had already talked to the people that wanted to buy a car, so they had a prior relationship. Okay, they had a prior relationship which was really good. So when the negotiation came, I negotiated a little and then I left them to negotiate. This guy had a girlfriend that is really a very good negotiator. She was reading, they were Sogis, so they actually had a language. They knew how to speak to each other. Sibanya Muna bichi, you know, I don't know the Soga very well. So but they were really connecting. So nembare kane wabagaining amu, he started at 23.5 naka ochitegera. So and naso kalemera ku 22 ne mugamba nonno bana abantu bo Uganda tugenda bagule Morocco walala wali badde baba kuwa milioni 2 ne bakwake 10 nenya no banja milioni 6 ne mugamba waligize no lweroza mangu. But now, you want to know, what do we base on when we are selecting a car? Sometimes, we should not buy a car only based on price. Okay? Eki abasoga bana imruzungu, silanga yabasoga sogi. Tamaso na masomero gali modani. Karim. Amasomero gali modani, abana balina silanga for everything. Sogis. Nachiwulira musomero munange jenkolira performance zange za katemba. Yola abana baina okasiranga basogiz basoga. Okay, enter a woman, my budget 15 cash. UB series tusobola okugezaako. By the way, tusobola mu UB series. We can get in UB series Raum. I'm thinking Timo, you call me. We can Raum ezo tusobola. Raum tusobola. How much can you value Harrier UAQ when everything is intact? Which Harrier though? Kaundo over the first one. Which one again? 3000 cc 2.4 liter. I know Access News, but I'm glad you watch. So gizi chichaliyo. So they negotiated. Then the guy when namukanze mnamugamba bana abantu no bagenda. Then he came down to 21. Okay, he came down to 21, and I find that offer was very good. Why? Let me give you my reasons. Kati answer is some of the reasons again as it directly into this is what you have to look at. This is what you have to look at. Some of these reasons are not pretty direct. For example, normally when people are buying a car, there was engine, gearbox, and body. Engine, gearbox, and body. And probably interior. That's normally what people care about. But sometimes when you're buying a car, you have to look at the aftermath of you buying the car. What are you going to work on? Okitegera bwe mara ogula emmoroka eno biki bye ngenda okukanika. Nsobola ogula emmoroka eno ne nvuga buvuzi. Majority of the cars you will be driving, just driving, naye ng'era olina repairs ez'okukola. Sometimes it's important for you to think, am I going to repair anything on this car? Ekinnemesa okutambula oba ekintambuza nga ndi in discomfort. This wish had nothing. Omusajja yagireso gikola butter, alabika yabadde yakasaako emipiira nga gikyali mipya. This person is going to drive those tires kuba yateeko nyina emipiira gyo ejja taxi egyo. Okitegeera, alabika musajja mukulu ng'ate agenda nnyo mu kyalo oba ng'abeera mu kyalo. Okitegeera, so yadattira emipiira eminene egy'enjola ennene. So you can get a wish at 15 and 14 if you have cash, but I don't want you to think that you can get a UB. Esagala ogendeyo nnyo kuba UB ya 15 or 14 eyinza okutawaanya ne weekyawa. Okitegeera gibayire mu US series. So what happened is we looked at this car, examined it, kuba nagivuze namu. I first gave to this guy himself, the one that bought the car to drive, naye ngenda okulaba nga tamanyi kuvuga bya kutestinga. Okitegeera, ne mga avaayo nze nvuga empulira byempulira. This car literally was buy and drive. If it weren't for the windscreen that needs to be changed, and the windscreen is like 200,000 mpya nga bagitadde mbo ogenda wali ku kyengo. Okitegeera 200,000. Ne brakes nagula brakes za mitwalo 5 kuba yaziguza wennyini. After we bought the car, I had to go to town. So I went, the mechanic I had is the one that put the brakes. So I told him, you give the mechanic the 50k, again I will brakes as created, as take him. So he gave the mechanic 50k. I drove the mechanic to town. I went on with my business. The mechanic got brakes and went back to put the brakes. So literally, this car, nga nebobo sara wonti kangende guru, you would just drive apart from the windscreen. Ayate ne windscreen eyo jiraba. If you know how to talk to the cops properly, that windscreen you would survive with it. Okitegeera. So this car literally had no repairs. Waba webisere ebimu woyagala, you know how you say emmotoka bagiseera. But when you look at the conditions, sometimes go to rowoza nti bakuseera naddala ng'ogenda ogula emmotoka ng'ogula on credit base. Nti emmotoka ogula ya bbanja. Buli muntu buli wona ogula ekintu kyonna ng'ogula kya bbanja bagenda kukuseera. That's why for me personally saagala nnyo omuntu agula emmotoka ya bbanja. One, emmotoka ey'ebbanja ekisooka bagikuseera. Ekyokubiri bw'ogula emmotoka ey'ebbanja ogenda beera ka pressure. Sometimes emmotoka ey'ebbanja it may not be worth the money you're going to invest. Okitegeera, emmotoka ey'ebbanja enyuma nnyo nga ya business. Nti emmotoka ey'ebbanja, if it were not on credit wesanga bali gimuwadde nga 20 oba 19. Okitegeera, because the motoka it had just come. The guy kept saying njiguza 22, but I think in the agreement they valued it at 22 million so that they can sell it higher. But I know because the gentleman that did butter, the one that had that wish, was taking a Rumion, and the Rumion but kubaba amasabi sente nyingi okutopinga. Okitegeera. So but that was Kayemba. I want you to understand that this wish we bought was one in a million chances. I've helped people do pre-purchase inspection, and it's 3 times that we have found a moroka nga bakagireeta nga nagiguze tannaba givaluinga nnyo. There's a wish, there's a primo that we bought. It's USZ omwami yagigula cha abeerawo kawempa akyagivuga ne kakati twagisanga nga noli yazze kukola bata bamuwadde kawunda alese primo ye ngeri kulangi ne tugigulira kulangi. Era the person, the owner of the bond, twamweza sente kwa account number ye. You get? Twamweza sente moroka teyadda mujjira wako twagigulira kulangi. That's the first one. The second thing, the second car we bought, yali motoka choba yali Subaru. No, it wasn't a Subaru. It was a Toyota. I've forgotten. But I've seen only 3 instances where you buy a car like that, nga mwabasoseewo mwe mugifuna. Okitegeera. So if it had been cash, probably 20 or 19. Okitegeera, but we got at 21 because it was credit. What in aya yongeramu? The reason lwaki bongeramu, first things first, they put a tracker which will cost them like 200,000 kuba bo baleeta bungi those car dealers. Ekyokubiri, why because amanyi bw'onogaana okusasula for some time, he's going to look for you. So eyo cost naye agibala. Cost eyokusatu gyabala every time you get a car on credit. He will imagine that because I've given this guy a car on credit, he's keeping my capital. But he knows he's saving space. So this car money that you have given him, he can use to buy another car and replace. nayo n'agikolamu nga neyo bwerita sente zaayo okitegeera so kukyovula abantu ayongeramu miliyoni emu oba bbiri okubanjizaako okitegeera so if it was cash it would have been lower okitegeera it's cash is always respectable definitely that's why for me I would rather buy enamukadde nenjigula raisi nga tebamanja nenvaawo nengenda because I know I always get a better deal okitegeera naye kati credit the only probably the times I would recommend that you buy account credit is if you're buying a new car let's say bond new osobola ogula credit because aba bond ate ebisere mute bongera munyo one thing you need to understand about the bonds where the bond new Japanese used cars is that those guys bagala kutunda mangu why because he pays parking fees of 10k every day 10k some people even pay 20 so kati abageza ko kusala cost ya parking that parking fee that he pays every day ekyokubiri buli wajjawo units because for those guys of the bonds the first installment to give him is the money inserted in the car the ones that bring Japanese cars chovola bagamba 70 because by 70% abamaze okujjayo sendeze ziyakolaki ziyasamza abakubanjaga bamagoba okitegeera that's why bote bateeka munnyo abayagala egenda aleetenda but if you're buying a used car abayagala ebisere bisinga kukamule so in fact no Derek I talked to this gentleman because we were 3 people okay my mechanic was there and normally mechanic ndwawo kumusambina ebintu we had a gentleman who recommended him I first bought this gentleman nagula naye moroka some time back nga tulina ne girlfriend when the buyer and I called them after I realized this car was really high price remember buza are you buying this car for a particular thing business or something and the guy told me no we are buying twagala byaffe byakwevuga mu lumu tugendako mu kyalo and all that and it so happens that I asked them, are you sure you want to get into this debt because it's really high? Because for me right now, when I think about a car that is very low priced, it performs the same duty as a wish. No way 2004, 2002, 2003, 2005. That no. It's bobena ne millions of kuminanya ojifunange yimiridde. Officer now by the way mukisaba gukwata so anojifuna ku million 10 okitegeera kati yo no way yo biliena oba bili oba bili 3 oba bili 5 I talked to them because ku sente za million 10 na nyaze babadde balina nga bwaba yagadde UB series ayinza nofuna UBD ne bajimuwa ku million nga 15 kitundu nasaswa ku 14 ne bambanja yakamu ekyo nga afunye UBD ngera UBD wish je yakoze eki yafunye so I talked to him and they did not like the Noah and they wanted a 7-seater car. There is no other 7-seater car that is in that price range right now that you can actually access apart from the Wish. And the Wish is actually a good car. So if it were me, I would use the 14 million. That's what I would do. But they apparently like the Wish, and with my experience, I knew there was no way we were going to get a Wish that good. Ngate omuntu kizibu nnyo okufuna omuntu nga ina wish ennungi ngeyo bwe yabadde nga agenda kugikuwola tasobola kugikuwola because it's good 50 million for a privately used drone on UX. No magezi, you can get a drone at 50 or 60 in the bond. You can get a drone in the bond at 50 or 60. Of course teba amu mito nekati emito bagikolera million nga 2 kitundu ku 3. Why would you buy UX number nkadde nnyo? Go to the bond. I'm telling you, era mu bond botuka nga tebasobola gikuwa, you import it yourself. Okitegeera drone baagala kuba. Good evening Daniel Ranga. Ekyo ya ku dashboard lwaki mwaseko eri moroka teyabadde yange bannange clip films omulekere ekyo yache yamanye cyana akikolera oba yagadde okukijjako akijjeko so but I talked to this gentleman but they wanted a wish and okubabulira amazima wabawo oyagala okugana omuntu ogule moroka eno naye ng'olabe moroka nnungi nga temwina mugenda kujijja nnungi kutuuka kuki kweyo okitegeera ate nga wetwaguze moroka omusajja oyo awola kuba yalina resources nti bwogana omusasula you can pull his car take it okitegeera but then what happens nti abantu abo ne bo bawayo emitwalo 5 kye kirungi ky'okwewola emmoroka era naye kati so kyakwewola Era munaba muri nga ngenze mu bondi nga newozeyo ka UB ebera nja kwewolera ku UBZ. Sijja kwewola kati. Ku UBZ eyo je nja okwewolera. Nginemba we milioni za 15 bampe kikawundo kya 7. The Noah is starting to make sense to me. We should say they were lucky to get. I'm telling you, at that price and on credit, they were lucky. So that's why everyone that was saying that wish was highly priced, for me, I gave them the challenge. Get me a wish that is in the same condition as that wish. Ngeriku price ya wanso kusinga because I have plenty of followers. You guys nyina na abantu abala videos anga bampereza message. Atha nyina milioni 15 nonya wish erimu UB series. Mwe, if anyone that thought that wish was highly priced nze nkuwa challenge saa wenu. Mfunayo wish ngeriku UBD ngerimu nambe eyo newe baya milioni 18 nze njinagigula. Nebo ojimfunira ancha nga nungi nga wish eri. Tujivuga buvuzi bwetuti. Netujitwara ku wish eri je twaguze because the gentleman that bought that wish abera kitintale. Tugende kitintale tuzigerageranye. If it's the same, nga it's at a lower price than the other wish. Nga tujisaswe milioni 18 nga tujitwara. Okitegeera. Guli omukisa gwatukute nti oli omusajja alabika abadde ayagala gula rumu yoni. Kuba kizibu kusanga muntu kuba n'emipiira gyabadde actually okumanya yabadde yakateeka ke emipiira emipya. The old tires were in the boot. Twabadde tukola driving test najjamu ebintu bye kuba twavuze moroke yo kugitestinga ng'omwami oyo tanajjamu na bintu bye yaguze rumiyoni najja ne batugamba ba broker abamulese banaye muleko omusajja ajjamu ebintu bye najjamu ensawoze najjamu n'ebipiira bye ebikadde bye yajje ku wishing ateekako emipiira emipya okitegeera kati EJMX tegirabika super custom lwaki togireka King Faiswa super custom nkwegayiride gyesonyiwe tokyalina kitoyina kyojagaza gireke UBP yafulumye UBN UB oteja aja UBP it doesn't sound nice mwe nze njagenda neolenga waliwo UBZ mbaweyo milioni 15 bampe kikawundo kya 7 nzije neyagale how much impreza 2018 simanyi na impreza mu 2018 jeri simanyi sijja kulimba bro I request your contact. My contact is in the description of this channel. After Alteza or Maktub Granda 10 million zichaliyo. No, I don't want to lie to you because recently we bought a Maktub Musota at 9. Of course, Kati, when I'm helping someone inspect a car, there are so many things that I look at, but I also look at condition. I look at the kind of person they are, what they want to use the car for, how it will affect their life. Because there are chances you can get a Mark II Grand at 10 million. Ojajigura nga taina ya domupira n'ogumu, ojajigura nga yatomera mudda, ojajigura nga yingino ogenda givuga ye emyezi 3 ekube, ojajigura nga gearbox tekyusa bulungi, ojajigura nga interior nvundu, ojajigura nga bwojigura bwoti otuukirawo mu garage. Those things are there. Because omuntu olumu ajja ko emotoka ogifuna. You guys, nze mulowooza lwaki nemedde mu nnamukadde nyina abampa ssente naye mbaga bw'oba ompa milioni 15 nze ngenda nange nzekayo ne bampa kawundo pakati bwe munzija mu nnamukadde mba ngenda mu bondi era bw'ompa milioni 15 n'ekipiza era olukimpa bwoti ffe tulyako hafu wano nga mpe 15 ezo ng'onvuga nako nga tugenda wali mba Pakistan oba abayindi nga naye muwa ku pizza nga muwa milioni zange 15 nga bw'ozimpadde nga mugamze 15 is there, give me a brand new kawundo, that one white. Ngaza atunza na mukadde mvayo ne kawundo nga bamanja milioni zanga 5 afafagana nayo. Ronald Mawanda, you need to love cars gwe atakati abasajja tuberera watch. We are having a conversation with Musomesa Samuel Sisi today and we are talking about cars. Kati abasajja, what better gift can you give yourself? The house ojizimba gwo musajja ozimba amaka sigago amaka ga mukazi na bana era bwe mucyankalana omusajja yenayinanga omusajja oli mugumu ngo omanyi nti sente bazikola fuluma ennyumba girekera omukazi n'abaana ogendo yiye walala eyo si yo. The one thing that you can have kyobeera nakyo nze kati mu mmotoka yange neebakanamu era omukazi bwe mulekera amaka n'abeeramu n'abaana be naye n'entandika okuzimba obulamu bupya. So the one thing that you can give yourself is a car as a man. Nawe omukazi bw'oba oli mupambanyi nga Martha, if you're a woman ng'oli mupambanyi, nawe weeteekemu ekimotoka. That's the one thing. You drive to work, you drive to the shop, you drive to the neighbors. Kweyagala bweyagazi. But a Wish 03 and Noah 2004, which is better for your consumption? Definitely the Wish might be better, because if you get a Wish that is 1.8 liter, it's better. Okay? But then if you get a Wish that is 2 liter and then a Noah that is 2 liter, they'll give you the same mileage. Because those Noahs, then you get a 2004, they give you 13 kilometers per liter. Boboji maintaining it properly, it can even go higher. That's why even me, I'm considering Ogura Ichi Noah and take a kachibere wow. Neka nze nyina kugulanga mubbi. Ngulanga mubbi. Nze ngula weddemu. Era bw'oba gy'olinga olina kinuwa ekyo ng'oweddemu, ng'oba owulira kikunywa nnyo, gwe mpita nkuwe 5. Salumini tunoonya abaweddemu, kati bw'oba olinayo kinuwa nga gwe kiku obanga oweddemu mpita sigulaako mbubi. Kubanga oba oweddemu obukkiriza nti mpeddemu emmoroka sikyagisobola, Arthur jangu ompe ssente nga nzija nkuwa $5,000,000 nga nange enjiguza Salumini 7. Natukola business ngegera mu maaso. Arthur basi enkadde baziteekawa ziba za meka basi enkadde kyemmanyi, naye aba basi bakaddiya basi tebazikaddiya bazikola. They repair them. Naye Arthur Noah ya 5 million ibe I have 15 million. Which car can I go for? At 15 million, you can go for literally any car. Which depending on availability, of course. Personally, right now, I'm considering obutadda Buganda in those used car bonds. Njagala gwe n'ontwalayo mu kabanda. Gwe genda laba mu kabanda, laba emmoroka zo nga bw'oziraba, then you call me. Akajja tugende tulabe emmoroka zino. And I've told you time and again, make sure you have 5 options. Z'otunulako n'olondako etya? N'olondako emu. So mu bubanda eyo nze nga nze Arthur sikyayagala nti nze nkutwalayo. Njagala gwe n'ogendayo n'olaba options zo nga bw'oziraba leero n'ompita Arthur jja tugende enkya. Okitegeera? That's normally what I like mu bubanda eyo. Waliyo vulugu mungi. Recently I realized nti babroka bwe bandaba naawe ebiseera ebisinga bayinza n'okukulemesa okugula. Okitegeera? Bayinza n'okukulemesa okugula. So what I had someone told me, ebiseera ebisinga kye bakola, they price it really high. Okitegeera? Nsobole okuvaawo. Bw'okomawo bagamba oyo gaayo oyo yaleetera ebintu okuba ebyebbeeyi. Okitegeera? So I'm considering not going back to those small bonds. Mbanjagala gwe n'ogendayo n'osooka olaba emmoroka n'olaba price gye bagyogerako ne tuddayo nga ngenda ku inspecting abo inspectings. Normally for me I like to buy cars from individuals. Nenkubira broker nangamba waliwo omuntu atunda emmoroka ye eri bweti eri waka. Is emmotoka nnungi nnyo za kugula. Okitegeera? Oba ebiseera ebimu waliwo bondi z'abantu abakulu abalinamu kasente ezo nnungi za kugendamu. Kati bondi nga abasajja ab'ennakawo abo abasinga ojja kusanga abasinga buli omu alinawo emmotoka. But if you go waliwo bondi kati bondi ng'ewa bakuli, you'll find abavubuka nga 10 batuddawo ku luguudo bwe bati. Ezo bondi mbi nnyo. At least in my experience. Okitegeera? But when you go to places like Nakawa, you'll not find babroka nga 3 oba 10 oba 5 nga batuddawo bali mu kunywa bazannya ludo. You'll not find it like that. Era bw'otandika okunoonyereza the stories of cars ze baguzizza abantu ate ne bazinona. Era mu bitundu ebyo Makindye wa gye zibeera. I'm not saying that all is bad news. Wantu naye wavaayo emmoroka ennungi. Abantu bagulayo emmoroka ennungi. Wabba kuli twakagulayo emmoroka nga 3. Okitegeera? But nze kati ebifo bwe bito manyi okubita birimu ba idlers bangi. Ekyo kibamu kya ba idlers. Muyinza n'okugenda okugula emmoroka ne bagyongeza olw'aba idlers. Oli atunda emmoroka ayinza okutundira abantu nga 10 nga bonna bayimiridde awo. Nagamba wayi kanyongeremu $2,000,000 nabo n'abaganya 10. Okitegeera? So that's one reason I'm considering nze mu kabanda njagala gendayo nga gwe wagenze n'olabayo emmoroka. Okitegeera? And then mbeera nkebera bukebezi. Basi enkadde kyemayinze tebazitema. Bateweddeewo ya 5 million. Ate bateweddeewo. Karimu like tobeerangako mu mbeera nga ssente zikubuze nga buli woyagala okwewola tewali. Okitegeera? kati ng'omuntu bajja nakuleta milioni 5 nga za wamu bweziti ho aba Yesu wo ajogambo baweddemu. Good evening, I like that statement. You leave the house for children. The house is for children. Enyumba si yange nze ekimanyi. Kaya ensonga nakyo ogulayo ne kinuwa kyo bwe mukyankanana n'omukyala mulekera amakage gulayo air mattress ng'omala bw'omala emirimu gyo opikamu n'oza emito side yeno n'eyeno tukawa kafalisoko n'ogwa ne weebaka. Mbaje yange Cliff Films nanno mwe muli wano nja genda nfuna kinuwa nga kiri ku UBK nga kya 5. Bro, we'll contact you tomorrow. Raum new model UB series 15 million range. I pray that we get a good one because sagara kukanika. Raum ya UB series ebisere bisinge ebaira nungi. Ekikubo cha taxes like how much? Ekikubo cha taxes bafuwa mu kifu. Mtu alondoza ngi 5. Base nkadde bazitema oba waliwo abazigula. Base nkadde ezo tebazijjako. Bazifuuyira ne bazigolwa ne bazizaawo. You guys. Nze sirako base nkadde gye bagitemera. Era ogenda zisanga all bus companies have their own parking spots. Era bwe bakitereka baba tebanafuna sente zikikola. Bwe bazifuna nga bakikola. Ate okukuba kunoba Martha n'abasajja tuno bennaku zino kati obere mu nyumba etali nze sinza bera mu nyumba etali mu mirembe. Ebintu tukola by'abaana zinga nkuleka nga ngenda kati abasajja abakozi mu mwaka gumu myaka 2 mbanzizeewo. Okitegeera. Yes Alan man mukama mulungi 6k subs on the way. Nange bw'okifuna nga tekisuka 8 ng'otuyita ne Salumin. Antonio nja kugamba. Salumin nawe nkugambe bwe nfuna kinuwe ekyo nga kiri mu bbeeyi nnungi. Hello, good evening to everyone. Good evening, Abby. Yes, Kauma webale budget. Guys, like your 64. We have only 24 likes. Like and share the broadcast. Like and share the broadcast. Anyway, story ya wish yabadde bwekyo. Netumaliriza. We even paid via bank transfer na Equity Bank hayajja. You can transfer 13 million, 14 million, 20 million via the bank okozesa na app ku simu twi nezigenda ku simu y'omulala zwi nezigwayo. Bwetu asasude moroka yaffe ne tuvaayo ne nvuga na mukadde wange ne ngenda nange nekola ebyange ne baterako break nabo ne beeyongerayo. Basi kanikane ziddamu ne zikola. So yesterday we didn't finish empathy. Network yansazeko nengezaako okudda neegaana nengezaako okudda network neegaana. So network yatusazeko yesterday, but we were talking about empathy, and we were talking because empathy is very important. Mu buli kyokola empathy is very important. And one way you know that you are empathetic is if you can imagine how the other person feels when you treat them a certain way. Why, Joshua? What happened with your bank app? Yakorachi. Me, I've been using the Equity Bank app for over how many years, and I've never gotten a very bad experience. I've not. The only time I got a bad experience with the bank is when I bought some pictures from a website, a certain website. But what I did, I blocked the card and got a new card, and it has never happened again. With the bank apps, as long as you don't share your phone with anyone, you're safe. It's a mobile phone, and because it's a mobile phone, you need to move with your mobile phone at all times. Don't share your mobile phone with anyone, and you won't get trouble. Don't share and don't click on links. Share is giving away free fuel. You're my wife. Steve Barros is saying he transfers 10 million, charges were exactly Steve Barros. You can imagine no one is on to million charging a nusu meka nusu bitano. Nza tsibaina racha abantu papa chakola chiku ya Telman era nakuzuno mwabagala okola pre-purchase inspection. Booking means 50k for you to book a day. You send 50k on my Equity Bank account. Kubanga kachata ina account ya Equity okolachi. And by the way, don't think Equity paid me. Equity did not pay me. I'm just sharing my good experience. Send me 50,000 to books, take Equity. Someone sent me 300,000 for pre-purchase inspection. Nangendo zijja ne bansala nusu kanana. Nagendo kuja emitwala asatu ne bansala nusu kanana for what? Ate nokonga tekuli taxes eyo charge ya Airtel. Sikyayagala Airtel money tonyumiza na kunyumiza. Brian Wanyama nawe kinuwo kyagala mwete mweraliikirira. Nze bande kati ngenda soka funi namwe binuwa nzo omuntu bande kubanze babimpereza. Someone was selling to me a nuwa UBG. Bali bajinguza milioni 12. but still nze spending a million 12 mu motoka. No, ndabika nkyabala nnyo. UBG bali bajinguza 12 nenjigana. Mwete mufaayo nze nja bagamba. Joshua tonambulira kayemba soko mbulire bank apps za kolachi. RAV4 old model in the present market is how much? RAV4 old model jibalire enungi jibalire milioni 12, 13, 14. Sali agadde osukkewa otosuka oku 14. Tosukawo. Kale bweba mpya nnyo yinzo jigule 15 oba 16 nga mpya nnyo, but I personally think that those old model RAV4s they consume a lot of fuel. So if you have like 15 million, why don't you add and make 20 and buy a new model, the one that has a VVTi engine? Or is that only 19? Which again, the new models are not too common, but you can get at 20, I'm sure. You know, when millions are bidding as ekutenga togula banja ngo sasula cash, you can get that new model RAV4. Mark 2 ya 5 million later, jireketo jigura. Equity is a world-class bank. Park dedicated ya nyono. Tutugendo oloza park dedicated oloza simulated mu kwenyiga. So on a Stanbic you can transfer up to 200 million daily limit at no cost. Are you sure for personal accounts? My banking is going to another level. Bageza ko zekatoinza kunza kwa Airtel money. Nga I can send my money. Mpeza milioni 10 with 500 shillings. Ngonziza kwa Airtel money. Ntandiko kutambula ne sente zo 10 kwa account. Paka simutegedde. Bwabidda mungena mu blocking amu katono kano. Ngena mu some time out. Time out comes when you take a time out obera for like this broadcast over for like 10 minutes no man okomao. Think I'm also going for a newer, but I was told Vox etesoboka. I want to just as the Moroka tebasobola zikanika. I tell because the Vox is luxurious, because the Vox is much more luxurious than the newer of the same year. But then people don't know a Moroka tezina temperature gauge. And majority of the times the cars that don't have temperature gauges, they overheat on people. Why? Kataraka red kagendo kwaka ngemoroke mazoku chamuka. Which tegera because those cars have a blue light which shows that the engine is still cold, and then a red light which shows that the car is overheating. And by the time the red light comes, the car is already overheated. The car is already overheated. So that's why those Voxes were disturbing people. Zacha mukanga, and then echirale chalinga uchali cha wiring. Na eche cha wiring bachisalira amagezi. Bachisalira. Abana bazigula wano nga ziremya abantu ne bazitereza. Nazitereza under 500,000 nedda kukubona ebala. You can imagine there is a newer we bought with someone. Twajigula ngeringa epipira n'okupipira. Nebajikola service. It seems the other person who just wasn't doing service. Nebajikola service inadekera webyo kupipira. Okitegeera. Can I get a good wish at 13 for Uber business? No. At 13 you won't get a wish that can do Uber. Ekyo nkigambanga munno. Ate at 13 don't do Uber. Bobo ina milioni zo 13. Gula yaka moroka kwa milioni nga 10 esatu ziteke mu business. Oba gula yaka moroka kwa milioni 7 zile sigado ziteke mu business. Uber jireke. That's my opinion. My opinion nze kubulira sagala kulimba. Park dedicated muwadde yo ka chance kambu anaddamu. Mugalasi Joshua tusoke tunonye kikoste ekikadde. Ate ekoste obogenda kukola sente. Obogenda kukola sente. Athanga okoza aka. Va mu gym, va kusitula matters to them for only 30 minutes because nowadays mbadde namuza musomesa Samuel Sisye. Mulambuza matuga buli wensobola mulambuza nga tuli mu valvematic tweyagala nkoze ka video ka valvematic era ngenda kasayo weekend ngadi nze mbadde muvuga mbadde chauffeur nga muvuga ile moroka nungi nyo valvematic a liter can possibly take you to 20 kilometers a liter of fuel mu valvematic yeyo era yasose na ngamba the liter can take him for 14 ngamba no valvematic should go higher era ngenzo okujja nga ye mvuga ija abadavuga 4000 revs per minute jukira nabagamba you have to drive at less than 2000 revs per minute for you to get maximum fuel efficiency. So and I was driving below 2000 revs per minute me, and ebadenge kulaga it can go up to 30 kilometers per liter which take it. Timo pre-purchase inspection is 400,000 currently. Guno mwaka up to December 31st. Pre-purchase inspection is 400,000. I come with a mechanic, but starting January, pre-purchase inspection will be 600,000. Yeah. because first of all obudde kati obukola inspection nabo butono, and then ebiseera ebimu tutambula wangi nga tunoonya emmoloka ennungi okitegeera, so ngenda okwebalabalamu ebiseera ebimu ng'ate omuntu akuwadde emitwalo 4 ng'emitwalo 7 gigenze mu mafuta, bw'owaako makanika ogenda okwekanganga. Alpha 20 million cash, which number? It would depend on what the price is for the Alphard right now in the bond. I don't know because I've not bought an Alphard with anyone, so I don't want to lie to you. Sagala nkugamba jaji gula mu UBB ogenda okutuuka ng'ogula USZ. But I'm thinking 20 million you can get a UBA, since we are tuli ku UBA ni kati. Someone said waliwo UBP. Kati UBP doesn't sound nice. But I'm thinking you can get a UBA. Oluzungu lubadde ki? Rutabuse, how much would you price a Lexus Harrier 2008 Bodo UAU? 2008 pose ebeera kawundu. 12 million nga 18 That's what I think, Kenneth. 18 kwa 2. Depending on who is buying, definitely. Which model of Nuwa at 5 million are you guys talking about? But nze ngambe njagala kunyangala za muntu wange. Njagala musange nga weddemu nga nze mukae kankuye million 5 ekimotoka okimpe nkikuggyeko nkitwale mbenga Arthur, Toyota Wish erina overdrive button oba nedda? The old one has an overdrive button, definitely. This one jembadde mu Valvomatic sijetegereza nze no nakoma dino vuga emotoka automatic, because the CVT gearbox senses itself. Ye ina senses ayo golina kulinnya bulinnya muliro is a Valvomatic. Arthur, can you use Equity mobile banking with someone who is not registered with the same service? Yes, kuba sigara afuna message. As long as they have messages, like every time money goes to their account, they get a message, then it's okay. With 7 million, can I get a good car for the start? It will be old, but you can get Chibinanga Nonji, Ipsam ish. But Ipsam you can get. Gaia, Chukumi, you can get those old cars. Marvin, you need to go to the bank to get that thing. I'll be your first Alphard client. Amina. Yeah, so you guys, empathy. I try to have empathy because I've dealt with a lot of people that don't have empathy at all in my life. There are so many people that don't care what you go through. There are so many people that don't care what we will go through. On a park dedicated kamaromu blocking amuko. Kamuteke mu time out. Kati mutadde mu time. Simu blocking nze mutadde mu time out. Bwadda muna abiteekamu ngenda kugoba mugobe. Mutadde mu time out for 300 seconds. Me, I want a super custom. Don't buy super custom, Richard. Why do you want a super custom? Why do you want a super custom? A good wish for Uber business, you validate about 18 million. Because at 18, normally wishes that are pressed at 18, ujakusanga ngerimu obuntu ntubu extra ready enungi esacha akola erikemi pira yotandikirako erabika bulungi okitegeera nga there are not so many repairs for you to do okitegeera ne bwebera ku namba nkadde. So if you're looking for a car that's going to do Uber, you need to know what is Uber looking for and then focus on that as well. Is it wise to buy Alex UB series at 20 million and above? If it's what you want, if you really want the Alex. But I can tell you that you can get a car from the bond at 25 million. Why would you be buying a car outside the bond at 20? There's some mathematics that doesn't add up for me. Why would I be buying a business? Because if it's a business car, then it's totally understandable. But if it's a personal car, if I can get a car in the bond at 25, why am I buying a car outside the bond at 20? Exactly, Antonio. UBP sounds like a clinical abbreviation. Doctor Agamba, you give him UBP 20 milliseconds, milligrams. These people want you answering questions when you talk about others, they drop. No problem. Bajja kudda. But anyway, empathy is very, very, very important. For you guys that don't know, there is a day that is specifically made for questions. That Friday in the morning, 7:15. Olunaku lwa questions. Kubuuza bibuuzo, just kubuuza bibuuzo. We have a lot of people. Alan, for example, Alan is a mechanic. Daniel is a psychiatrist. We have Dr. Chiwanuka, who is a doctor. Antonio is a business person. Twina Council Patrick. We have a lot of people here from different professions. On that day, you can ask whichever question you want on Friday in the morning, starting 7:15 a.m. And those questions, people answer them for free. For example, our Daniel Ranga psychiatrist, so Jaji Sanga, his hour is 150. But here, for the love of God, you can ask a question and he will answer you for free. Council Patrick Ojamusanga, his hour is like 120. Over 150, over 200. I don't know how much lawyers charge. But psychiatrists nabanonya komba manyi era nabanonya. Depression nembivako. Ngandaba depression is a privilege. Daniel, I don't know if you're still here. There is a time when I was kind of depressed around 2013 there. Nenonya kuba psychiatrist na ebe ya mweyanzija mu depression. Nenzira mu nomo nemanya tika depression si wa abavu. Era you can never find me depressed. Amina Ivan. Arthur, which valvematic I see, they have two funny outlets on the steering. Which left side is positive and negative? I have not looked at that. I'm going to see that in the video and then I'll probably tell you that tomorrow morning. Nenga chembamanya valvematic is an improvement of VVTi. It will definitely give you better fuel mileage. That's the biggest advantage you'll get. It's even much more comfortable. Munja kuna video yenye take a weekend ya valvematic. The car looks much sexier. The car just looks nice. And then it will give you better fuel mileage. It's much more comfortable than the old Wish. Which they banji vuzemu yorwaliru. I wish. Is it wise to import an IST? If it's what you want, Patrick Sando. If it's what wobai moroka jo yagaranga uliro jifanga wotajivugo jakufa, you import it. But then you need to you compare the prices. No la moroka chenda le inemu kumagezi jo inzo kugula. IST sijitegera. Okujiji kwatoji ojisule mu milioni asatu. IST sijitegera. But nange Gideon nsonyiwa. I've never understood the logic behind investing 35 million in an IST. I've never. Mujukira abantu wano bali bagula room on 40 million, 45 million. Nemagabane, why would you buy a room at 40 million? Nikati zase empieri mu million asatu mu. Kati gwenga wajigula million yana. Ochitegera. Agamba paddle shifters, Alan. If you're talking about paddle shifters, you can shift through gears. But woboli kamparanga te wasuma kwesa paddle shifters. Giyo inzo jita tobikozesa. Mkama wange sa, which cars specifically may be 20. Sienta osoro jifuna. Oiza jifuna wansi. Raum all new model osoboro kujifuna. Raktisi osoboro kujifuna. Paso osoboro kujifuna. And some other cars that are that small. Osoro bufuna muboni. Gubogena muboni nga tomanyi wa kubuja. Then you come give me my 400,000 and I go inspect. Yeah. I estoba agula obanga agula rumiyoni. Achi rumiyoni na tisi box kinene nene inzo gaba kale ubachi kusera lwa kupa kinene. Neka IST nze sidaba. The new Wish Valvematic is 35. Exactly. The new Wish it's 35. Yeah, Valvematics have CVTs, definitely. Some Valvematics have shift gears on both the steerings and the gear lever. In what they call manual mode, it gives gears up to 7. Paddle shifters actually it's a feature of all CVT. No, the paddle shifters not all CVTs have paddle shifters somewhere. There are CVTs that don't have. Empathy is versus sympathy. Many people go wrong. Most make us feel worthless, poor in the name of empathy. I tell sympathy. Me, I am not sympathetic. Actually, the people that call me and you ask me how are you when you're not ready for the bad news, don't call me to ask me how are you. I prefer that you call me Arthur, good evening, Gambe, good evening. Ungambe jeba leko tugende ku point. Tombuza how are you? There's a time I got some bad news business or my business in kuba no funa
kati majjajja nankubira nambuza Arthur how are you ngayina byayagala nemga jjajja siri bulungi kiki nemga naito jja bisobola bireke. I just wanted to put it out there that I'm not fine, she cannot do anything for me. Then my wife was asking me like kati lwaki jjajja omwa pressure eyo nemga yambuzizza kati mukolere ki oyagala muliment ndi fine nga siri fine pressure zinkubire wano haka musajja njogedde naina ngamba ali bulungi kati pressure bwe zinkubaga mugambye siri bulungi. That's different. So it's important that we understand that sympathy kwe kusasira omuntu bambi ngolabi. People don't want that. Zansagala abantu bansasira. Be empathetic weteke mbigerebye senga ambadde mu position ye yali nandi agadde bankolere ki kyoba okola tonsasira nga tolina kyo. You see people when nga basasira abantu ku on social media omuntu ali awagamba naye ngisaba mu nsonda yo miliyoni nkaaga ngereba omuntu atandika kumusasira kumugamba gende wa nabbi gundi bakusabire ngo bagambye agenza okutuuka okumanya nti miliyoni nkaaga ze zimala ekizibu kyenge wa nabbi tannagendayo. Sebo Antonio, there is a time I was depressed nenonya kuba psychiatrist naye munnange ebiseera ebyo nga bya mitwalo 10 nengaka akati depression nyina ya sente sirina sente ate kati ekumi ekigende psychiatrist njije wanga nga sente zezirese depression kangende nonye sente depression jagenda automatically era munaye bwenafunanga ku sente awo depression ngegenda okitegeera. Amina Richard, what can you tell me about remapping the engine? Do it if you are rich. Just tell me why would you want to remap the engine. For the guys that don't understand what remapping the engine is, you modify probably to give it more power. If you have to mbelekere abavuga moroka za race gutobikola kugira ngo ina sente zo. Antonio, I was depressed, I'm telling you. I was depressed nengenda nagenda nganonya psychiatrist ne bampa kansara. Bantu abamalira bamanyite tusoma nga gayi kansara bu kansara napandikira mbungende mire empekeza depression ningabo no yakampa akapapula nengenda byange ninga kakati depression. I'm not made for depression. I'm not depression. Iranza katoinza kusanga ndi depressed. There is even a video I saw 50 Cent saying depression is a privilege of the rich. Oina biru ezokusa sulangoda mu depression mbuwebise mu blanket mbu you are depressed. Era byabagagga. How much is the room old model? Na yaka kayingi nibakasera musika million nga 3 olowooza juko. Bakugambye sente meka because I'm sure you have already asked your mechanic. Yagambye meka. Actually, there are cars. I don't understand why they are overpriced. Antonio, it's demand. Whenever demand is there, never nyisa. Do we actually have tuners in this country? I've seen some actually calling themselves that. I don't think we have tuners that are actually tuners. We have people that want to be tuners. Chenjo kugamba. Good evening, JK. How are you today? Sympathy doesn't benefit you, but empathy may. Empathy definitely benefits you. Whenever you're empathetic for someone, because when you're empathetic, you realize what that person may need, and then you realize what you would need if you were in that position, and then you do exactly that for them. That's empathy. Okitegeera kati omuntu atalina empathy beba babera ku TV munajja n'agamba bannange eraze wemba sirya empathy ne sympathy sejiwulira. For example, I'll give you an example. God forgive me if this is bad, but olaba abana babera ku street, I don't feel empathy. I don't. Why? Those kids even seem to enjoy the street. Baba kwata ne baba yona ne bazze ku Karamoja ne bavayo ne badde Karamoja. Okitegeera. And there are a lot of other things that I will not talk about why I don't feel that much empathy. Okitegeera. And then of course KCC said bwe bakusanga wo abaana abo sente bakusiba busibi. Okitegeera. But I also believe that abaana abo tusigaranga tubawa sente ku street nabo bagenda kuzaala abaana abalala nabo bateke ku street. Okitegeera. So there is no way for me to feel sympathy ndibambi obwana buno. Obwana obwina abazadde n'abazadde. There is a time nabuuza akaana mama wa alirudda ne kangamba ali katwe. Kwa mama akolera katwe ko kakolera wandegeya. Okitegeera. I'm glad you are happy, JK. I'm glad you are happy. After an engine of Harrier 2.4 is how much? Sija kulima nti manyina ye. If you're replacing that engine, take a 3 liter. Those engines blow because the 2.4 liter is small for the body of a Harrier. Okitegeera. So kati engine efa buzito. Oja kawulira karawo old model. clip nze badde nsirise Eddie badde nsirise nga sagala kwogera bintu ebigulacho byogera. Bro, can you believe I have a lady friend? She was escorted by someone at the bond and she bought a parcel seat at 28. Teba babye kweli ate. For them, they felt it was fair. It depends. I've not bought a parcel set from the bond, but it's possible. Parcel set 28 seems okay. It's okay. Depends, of course, where you buy as well. Well, there are bonds ngaba subuza. The wali bond is subuza. The wali bond is tasubuza. Kati bond yatasubuza inza nokuguza 35. Depending. Washitegeera. Jeka abadabuze nnyo. Mwe bagayi. So empathy is very good. Mbuli chokola in everything. Banange mwe bagayi mbere ne empathy. Nze nsala obuliboota bwange bwe nsala endiboota zange nenzijjamu ku buntu awulala ne mbutunza abalala. But nagenza okusala akaliboota gayo omunga akanguza 5 ninkagula kwana mwe 3 ku mu China. Okitegeera? Niye katono ga mu China wabanguza 4 uli lwacyanguza, and it's Ugandans that don't really have empathy. Uli lwachabanguza 5 Okitegeera? Okujja ko ngamba nti najja nagula wane wo mu China nagula wana mwe 3 nagenda nayongera mwezo sente na yali eko. Okitegeera? Message yani je ba holdings for review. But ngenda blocking wana abantu abatandise posting ka muteke ne mu time out oyo atandise ku posting ebintu bye tutayagala wana. Parcel set is 25 Dawood. Kati olabye bamukubyemukko. Sinagigulako na muntu yenna mu bondi. But uya atugambye ya 25. Ne million 3 oyinza okwesanga nawo bayina ensonga lwaki bazitaddemu. Arthur said, I want to upgrade from a border to Uber. Border might making more money than Uber. Taremo nchigamba akutunudde maaso bwenti border eyo ekola sente okusinga Uber. Tewaba kulima ati era Uber ojja kuba comfortable mmotoka nga lingo bwavu bukuluma. I know someone that temporarily yava ku border mbunga akoye empewo nayingira Uber kati ali ku border ekola sente okusinga Uber. Ekyo nkigambe atoba ne woba okola safe border okola sente okusinga wa Uber. Nze ever since I realized that I will never yield the fruits of this world. Naterera I live like there is no tomorrow. Zatonyo na depression. Ne depression ya bay tujirekera abagagga. Abana boku street that is business. Katezo million 3 oyiza nsanga bazigabanya aba broker nga bayitirivu. Katera bwe banga parcel set ya million 25. Okitegeera kitegeeza bogenda atemba suuzo yinzo gifuna even lower. Okitegeera abantu mwe munjagaza katugule motoka empya lwaki sigenda aba parcel set nimba wako omusanvu ne bapaka motoka kange. Editons lwaki sigenda aba ne bako omusanvu ne bapa parcel set nejivuga amabanja. Dawood Uber no zembabulira eri Uber abana abagirimu kati bala ana agirimu kuba kayanga ne bakuba na panado bakuba paracetamol zenne dana lisimanyi paracetamol ye panado izirango musawo bwayogera paracetamol ndabanga wakabi nnyo dagala yogedde dijingeri ebulaye eyo kumbe paracetamol ye panado kati bali abana abali mu Uber kati bakuba panado bakuba paracetamol emitima gyakaluba. Arthur, advice on Subaru Forester 2008. What would it be? Yes, it would. It's a good car. Subarus are very comfortable cars. They are easily comfortable. Nga Toyota na easily comfortable enough for a person that is passionate about Subaru. But just know Subaru loses more value than Toyota. Faster. So jigurengo, buy it when you're really passionate. Watch my way next time make out of fire. Emotoka ye banja mu bondi nungi. Yes, just buy from the right bond. Togena mu bondi buno we moroka nkadigena mu bondi eri bondi. Atoka kasoko tamburoka kasebe ye moroke ye walale eri kumeka. Nange kankulinde ngo weddemu namukadde tijja kugwamu mwe tebalimba nti namukadde no sobola okugwamu ne tuka ku point egitunda wa kati awo nava omanyi buli muntu otuka no advancing okujanga government yakubye government ekumalamu government esobola okuba nekumalamu nodda ku zero. Namukadde sina sizija tuuka okuleve eyo nze nabagamba namukadde nedda mundeke nammwe toddamu na kuchogerako athalinda ko tugira tuli mu Corolla tujja tuli mu Corolla bate ngenda mbaweko omusanvu bampeka paso sete nkavuga mabanja bateke mu traka yabwe njijjemu the truth is to have a paso sete at 28 I'd rather have a Rauma 24 25 definitely nenga paso sete ante elimu emito musanve. That's the business. Nafe babi tukola. If you oversleep, the early birds will go grab good deals. Remember, we buy what we can afford twice or at least. Clip films akoze ogwa Emma, Guardian Angel. Guardian Angel. Bana ikansimbule, obudde buli mukuziba. Emma kamujulide bwetandika oba njiddemu. Kanjiddemu ulira naye mola namukadde naye sagala amogera but guys kansoke mpise wa kantu kano kasina damu kutandika yini. I do pre-purchase inspection. If you're going to be buying a car and you want to have a good buy toyagala bakube and you want to get a good car, I'm your man. I come with a mechanic and we make sure that you get a good car. To charging only 400,000. It covers 2 days. If you don't get a car on the first day, we can always go look on the second day, and then we get a good car. I know an old border man who has educated one nurse and one doctor now. Border ekola sente. Nze neighbor wange mu estate yali omu estate nga kwegamba atetenkanya bivaako. Ali mu bbala avuga border nyumba yali eganya okuba plaster w'emyaka emeka. Kyagikola kati. Kyagikola mwe bagayi border erimu sente era nze bwensanga omuntu ng'avuga border mbwagivaako agende vuga Uber kazeemu batandikiremu kukanna mukadde mukawulire okiwulidde naye omuzungu yakola namukadde kati ne esi ntaddeko. The truth is don't leave borders for Uber. Border earns more than Uber for sure and maintenance costs are low. It's just that border bwoba oli muvubuka oba olaba kyali bange bandaba batya nga nvuga border yambala element nga togijjako ojibike oyambala zino element ezakabinga zibikka paka wano nga luwano woyolera halo ogenda wa ompa meka okitegeera igwe border ekola kasitoba nga toli muvubuka wa malala border ekola osobola ogikola n'ogigula mu border enda n'ogigula mu enda n'okwata abaana banana bo n'oba wa border n'okakasa ati kati border nyinayo border zange zimpa ekyena kyange n'eyange n'empayo zempadde okitegeera. Actually, let me give you this, guys. Instead of going to for Uber, collect your money. Kifo ky'okugula emmoloka y'emiliyoni 15 gende ekole Uber. Kwata miliyoni nga 18. Buy a used Chigege, okay? Now this is where the math comes in. Buy a used Chigege and become the conductor, okay? Or if you cannot become a conductor, buy a used Chigege and wait for your 60,000. Okitegeera. Buy a used Chigege. Some Chigeges give up to 70, some up to 80. Okitegeera. Buy a used Chigege and give it to someone instead of buying a car for Uber. Okitegeera. Uber just do other businesses. That's my advice. Is Uber. Sigirabira muntu yenna future. Okujja ngo oyagala gula buguzi moroka we yagala empuvuga moroka buli lunaku. Kambalage ku kkubo lyaffe. Mulabe waffe abaana bawo bali mu kwevuga gaali. I remember when I was that age nga nange njagala vuga gaali. Navuga nge moroka ya Diko. Kati he's a doctor, PhD holder, Dr. Nicholas Banagaya, software engineer, doctor. Njidemu ndeka bwe mtu mkoza serefu yange nakubira naawo okiraba bwe bagayi tebakujja omulimu gwotegeera gubeere mpaka bwogukola noka kati nguvuddemu kagende ntegeera omulala naye Uber teriko kutegeera. Uber yo teriko kutegeera okujja ng'ogenze n'ogivugira Amerika eyo gy'oyinza okukolera kasente naye wano e Kampala wano Anyway guys, empathy togyerabira buli kyokola mulimu gwo mwe bagayi mubeere ne empathy. Whenever you're empathetic, life will be good to you. Nze mbagambye ebintu ebimu ebirungi ebintuuseeko mu bulamu bwange ebintuuseeko kubanga I try as much as possible to be good to other people. I try to be good to other people. When you be good to other people, now good things happen to you. Okitegeera. Try and be good to other people. Good things will happen to you. And you cannot be good to other people if you're not empathetic. Wetaaga okubeera ne empathy okusobola okubeera good to other people. Omuntu atalina empathy tamanya what is good to other people and what is bad. Ate omuntu asobola okuba nga talina empathy ng'alina sympathy nga ye eva asaasira naye ng'ebisaasiro bye gye biraga temulabayo. Mala okugulira ba Abani wano amenvu waleero ngule gano amanene gano gabogoya gano nange baŋŋamba nange gannyambako gakola ku maanyi g'ekisajja. Owaye bogoya wa mmeka? Ate wesatu ebitano nga ndaba mutono kuwa 2 ndaba kitono. Toleeta leeta tukomparinge nowe 2 kambalage bogoya owesatu 3 kati nsaira ako kutano twale buno bubiri kali
obono mbuso wa 2 nyako 10
wegarako 10 kati kano nokasuubula mmeka
kale mpa 2
kano 2 kale kati mubuzeeyo
bali nti ngasala kube n'obutwala
anti bonamba twali batabani bati bagenda kugamalawo
twala ekyo kimwe 13 gama maji kituufu
kandabe narobi gabeera batunda 3 10 10 2 3 mulabye maathi mmwe bwe batwe bamukola bwoba ogagula mu kibuga wano baba 10 2 3 nya ziba 10 naye robo nseddemu
olina kwogana yawe kusemu
gwe bino tojja bisobola naawe akantwale kino kale ekyessatu kuba gwa amenvu manene ku gano gatwale nemwe bagayi mwabagula ebintu mu katale mwalabye gundi ntwaye 2 mwalabye obutungulu bwe bwalinnye bagayi namukadde looks so good. The exterior it's awesome. Bumper yazikola kati can I hire to be purchased section on your corner. Bana Samuel badde ndaba okuba ebifaananyi kasimanyi oyagala kulaga nguni bumper zange. Kale nyawo. Ze bana simanyi oyagala kulaga bumper zange. Kati ngenda kukola interior. Ngenda kugula seat covers zino. Ngule seat cover. Sijja kugula kyoya kya dashboard. Ngenda kugula seat cover. Njongiremu ebikapeti wansi awo kwegamba ng'emmoroka bw'ogiraba bw'oti kuba kati esi mwali sivuga nfufu. Ate kati Samuel you have inspired me. Emmoroka ngenda givuganga esi saawa 4. Sigenda kuddamu kuvuga mmoroka nga esi taliimu. Era ne kakati ndi mu esi. Ekiwago mukigula 6K okubeera mu kyalo kulina benefits. Naye it seems you are my neighbor in Matuga deep. Nze deep matugere kubolira abo balaba abaana babano bambala engoye eziddugala. Manya abantu bo mu kyalo bete bafayo kasitobi ko bwerere. Bano kyalo. Bana Samuel, thank you for the visit. Samuel ranch aliddeko. But how can I trust a mechanic when I give him my car to fix it? Obanzibirize buzibirize. Lwaki ogimuwa? Kyekyamanyi ekikuweesa emmoroka nga toliiwo. Emmoroka balina gikaniko oyimiridde awo. Sipeya we babajjamu ebikadde babijjemu ate babikuwa ogende nabyewaka. Nze emmoroka yange bagikanika ndi awo. Era kyomuva mulaba nti ebiseera ebimu osobola ogivuga ng'ekubagana. Saagala makanika bonna bayaayi. Bakanika ndi awo. Nga ntunudde bweti. Nange bampa nja kuzi network ebitandise bannange. Obutungulu mwabulabye. Obutungulu amutwalo gumu ekitundu. Uganda ekyazange kasambu 5 n'entwala obutungulu emyezi 4. Nkubiremu amata. Jagala kugezaako ebyo ebintu ebyo milk shake ebyo. Hi Dennis Oluka, how are you? wagambye math kati agamenvu okubala math wa mevu oyo obanga agatta obuti nti 2-3 so rasta in Milan don't ebisale ebisinga tokanika nga bagagga. Don't leave a mechanic to take your kambo ajikaniki. Emono kabaina jikaniko oliawo. So find a day you're free, like a weekend. Ogende mu garage basumulule bajjemu ekintu bakikula genti kino kikadde obagambe kiteeke mu boot tulete ekipyo kiteekemu. Me, that's how I fix. I even have my old steering rack in the boot kangene njijina monji teeke mu store. The store yange ejjudde buli kye bakanika mbo kifunteeka mu store ne engine yange enkadde enjirina. Era bwoba oli eyo ng'olinayo akamotoka akagenda mu wano NZ ng'eyombi nnyo jangu ompe ssente mukange kuba ko kaali kakyatambula. But you guys don't joke with mechanics. Don't joke with them. Buli kyagamba nti kifu mugambe kimpe gukitwale kiteeke mu buutu okitwale waka okiteeke mu store. Bajalekerawo tuba ata you should have a home garden. Siri mulimi garden njaga ne siri mulimi ogwo omutima tegunnajja gugenda kujja nimeyo ki eka kyange eky'amatooke kibeereyo eyo naye I'm not a farmer mu mutima tekiriimu nze I'm a farmer in other aspects like right now kati ndi mu nnimiro yange for the love of cars is my garden. For the love of cars is my garden. Nti for the love of cars sobola kumala wiki nga sikoze sente ate abalima era balima kusavinga sente okitegeera. And one thing I realized about these things, we can't all farm. Fene tetujja kulima bannange mwe mumanyize sente zengula fene ewange bandetedde enduli ya fene leero nene njikuze 13,000 ng'omwana w'omu kibuga bw'atwala enduli eyo eya fene n'agisala agikolamu emitwalo ng'ebiri njikuze 13,000 ayinza n'ogikolamu 3 kuba nnene bulungi. Amatooke ge mugula emitwalo 3 eyo ffe tugagula kasanvu 8 ewaffe. Okulima editunes nja kulima naye maama kansooke kaddiwemukko binyuma ebyennimiro binyuma nti ogenda n'otema ettooke nja bikola naye ndooza kansooke nkuleekulemukko. I'm still young. Nkyali mutoototo. Tulime mu mikebe. Ze njagala bwemba wakulima njagala ennimiro nga when I look at it nga kati nga Samuel wazza okunkyalira nga mugajja tugendeko mu nnimiro yange ne mulengeza olengera eri gye nkomaga amatooke gonna gange bakutemere yame kotwala eka kati that's the farming. Saagala kulima alimamu ne beba tebimera naye nga mbiraba bingi. Because that's what most farmers are going through. They just don't tell us. Most farmers are making losses, but they are not telling us. Kati goroza mbu obutungulu olwokuba tubugula gumu kitundu n'abalimi bafuna wa kugumu ekitundu omulimi aleka afunako 2,000. Nze nyambe n'ennimiro ne bwe batemeza naye ng'ogirengera eno ga musajja yalima ebitooke. Nenga guy consider the weekend is doing well. Mumule bulungi kuba enkya tukikeeramu. Topic ngenda gissayo bulungi nnyo. It will be a surprise topic ngera bulijjo. Awo sijja nja kulima. Joshua nja kulima. Nete kigasa kuba na matooka 3. Nze naye nate okumanya okulima okwo kasi kyange. Nagenda ewajjajja mu kyalo ne bampa amatooke n'ensya nengasimba negakula bulungi. Bwe twafuna omukozi yali abimanyi n'atugaa naye nga baakuwa gonja. Kati nasimba amatooke gamanyi nsimbye matooke kumbe nsimbye gonja. Okiraba kirabika okulima kwetaaga nga you know how to pay attention to particulars. Ng'ettooke olimanyi bwe lifaanana endagala ne gonja omumanyi ate teyalina gonja bwali buno sinandiizi waliwo obwo obutoketooke obwo obukaluba obwo bwe bampa naye nga nja kulima. You buy one banana 1,500 mweyo muli babede. The car we bought on Saturday is really good. Amina Dennis twali ne Dennis mweba guy Dennis yono gwe twaguze naye mmoroka yabadde nnungi mweba guy omwami gwe twaguze naye wish Europe huyo Europe kati mumubuuze buli kye mwagala omubuuza mmoroka twaguze yabadde diru nnyo. Dennis, I was sharing the story of how we bought that car. Some people were saying it's overpriced. Nze buli agamba it's overpriced mu challenge emu agindeetera ng'eri wansi w'ezo ssente ne bweba ya cash. Ffe twaguze n'abbanja. I was telling someone how much we bought that car. Nangamba naye emmoroka nga muguze ng'abataguze n'abbanja. Okitegeera. The price we bought was good. Kati wano waliwo obudinda abamanyi obudinda abavuga amakubo g'omu kyalo wano obuntu obulimu obumukubo mubulabo bwe budinda bukubaganye emmoroka bwe businga okutta zi bush. Amina Dennis, I'm glad you're happy with the car. Banange Dennis wali awo Dennis Oluka musobola omubuuza ebibuuzo. He's the one that bought the wish. I'm happy for him. Emmoroka yabadde nnungi omanyi kati. One thing you need to understand when you're selecting a car, number plate soko di vehicle first of all. Don't focusing on your number plate, focusing on condition. Look at your budget. And mula wa mcharo nyinzo munyimiriza ne mugamba aguze toke nalinguza kasanga. Hey. Nenye ne toke nyinzo kwesa isasaza na sina wengeda this. Ewange nze nsingo kulya amatoka bana bonna bagala muchere na makoloni. Kasi otwala amatoke wone gatandika n'okwengera anti emmere tumala gikubira kalulu. Leero tuli eki aba ne baga mami you want chips ati awo nowesanga nga gowa amatoke oviiriddemu awo. Sinabalaga face banange nga face nagiraze dda. The guys here know my face. They kiraka gwa abadde tamanyi face. Line ekkubo lino abantu banyumirwa view. DJ Zion nze ekibuga kyagaana mbeera wala. Mbeerera ddala wala. But I'm happy by the way. I'm happy in ewala gye tubeera. It's this environment is really nice. First of all, it's nice to raise kids in. It's quiet, there is not a lot of noise. Ate nze wembeera the neighborhood, because before you build your home, you need to ask yourself the neighborhood jengendo okubeera mujengendo okubizaamu abaana eri etya. Because nasina jeno wala nasooka nenzimba akayumba kange akasooka kasanga ati kumpi ne Minister Seninde. Nali nga mbeera okumpi ne Minister Seninde avuga mita 5 netuuka ku main road. But the environment wasn't healthy for my kid. Ne space nyina abaana mtabani wange yatuuka n'agejja ng'agejja butazanya. Anti bigere bibiri ng'otuuse ku kisenge kiri. Bigere bibiri nga compound eweddeyo kati ekyo kyokka kigoba okwagala okulira n'ekibuga n'enva nga kangende mutabani wange gy'anaazannyira. Kati his weight is healthy. Okitegeera. Ate naffe tufuna fresh air. Eno gye tuli waliyo fresh air. Mwababeera mu kibuga temulina fresh air. Ene wantu wali fresh air. Kati kankulage emiti egiri eno. Ate lwakwa kati abasajja abatema bu estate abo bazze kati batema emiti gyaffe. Okitegeera. But these places have very good air to breathe. The environment atenze jembera kati the place is civilized by neighbor. They challenge you. You need to be close to a neighbor that challenges you. Kati olaba nvuga ndamukadde nze nvuge moroka enkadde wange jembera. Ba neighbor bange bavuga moroka mpya. Okitegeera. Kati obeera challenge n'ogamba naye Mukama Katonda lwaki sikola ssente nange nengula ekibwa akamotoka akapya. Kibola mbadde mbuuza editunzo oba ngende abapaso sente mbaweeko 7 bampa akanamba nveyo ne UBP. Nveyo nga nyina UBP nga neeyaga ekireka nziruka nnyo ndaba gundi eri mu kukola ki ne phone hold erabika ekadde